shoulders in your golf swing. They have much more of a big effect on your swing than you think. And we've got a mobility, strength and conditioning expert, Sam, back on the channel. You've seen him a few times now, and hopefully you've actually started to put some of his exercises into play. And if you have, like I said to you at the start, you'll have started to steal a few extra yards. Don't thank me, down below in the comments. Thanks, Sam. Now, if this isn't an example of how important the shoulders are in the golf swing, I don't know what is.
So this is a really good opportunity to add some yards to your swing. So there we go.
Again, I go to why people do this is you're going to be stronger, you're going to move your shoulders easier, move the club more efficiently, and if you do that, like that is essentially going to help you hit the golf ball further with less effort. So shoulders in the golf swing. If I said to you, top of backswing, we want to be somewhere here, and Sam will come and sort of analyse this in a second, but look at the position I have here with my right arm, look at my left wrist flat. What I tend to see is this elbow start to fly, chicken wing is what we would sort of term it as. Look what then this sort of impacts my lead wrist, very cupped, that'll be an open face. Also look at the effect on here, it starts to collapse. Now if we look at that as a bigger picture, if we cup the lead wrist, arms come in, widen at the elbows, because we've got lack of mobility in the shoulder, then our ability to strike on the way down becomes a little mishmash. So in terms of irons, you'd probably see lack of power. I'd say fat, thin golf shots, lack of consistency. And with driver, I'd sort of label this as very much more slice, which we don't want. And again, lack of power. So Sam, let's analyze this together here. Top of the backswing, I like to see golfers in this position.
Yeah. So
tough one to get. Like I can feel this is really, really switched on. But as I said a minute ago, we tend to see this impacting club face, impacting radius of arc. We don't want those things. Can we talk through some exercises today to really allow golfers to really set this arm much better? Wow, like that is on right there.
Yeah. So going into some external rotation with that trail arm. So you need a sufficient amount of external rotation to be able to get into that correct position that you're describing there. It's the same on the follow through as well.
Yeah, that'll just be now this side. This way.
Yes, you need to be able to open up the pec and externally rotate that arm on the
Instead of, I see this all the time, and sorry senior golfers, but senior golfers, we start to go this way.
Yeah.
And that again is because they struggle with that rotation through here.
They lack external rotation. So we need to develop enough range before we strengthen that range.
Yeah.
So I've got a good stretch for you with the club. You can literally do this on the tee as you're warming up. Thank you very much, matey. So
does it have to be any club in particular? I mean, you got 7-iron there. Could you do it with iron, driver, or anything?
I'd probably do it with a longer club just for range because you might not be able to get into this position.
So 7-iron minimum, really?
Yeah, I wouldn't do it with a putter. Okay. Probably a big iron or a big driver. So you're going to cup the club like this, and then you're going to pull with the opposite arm, and you're going to get into some external rotation. You're going to feel a little bit of a stretch inside the shoulder. So this left arm's okay for me. My right arm's not so good.
Show us.
So we swap over. That's painful right there. So I'm getting a bit of a stretch,
I'm interested to see if I can do this.
Yeah, let's give it a go.
Can you talk me through it? So again, imagine I'm a viewer that's not really into the fitness. Like, think about this, right? You don't have to be fully into your fitness to get benefit from these videos, and that's an important thing. Like, we just wanted to get better at golf, and combining fitness and golf technique is the way you can actually improve, ready for next year, right? 2025 will be here before we know it. Is that right?
That's correct, matey. And then you're going to get your arm around the other side of it. So, actually, no, that's okay, yeah. And then you're going to pull on this one here, and you're going to go into deep external rotation there. So you're getting a bit of a stretch on the shoulder, and you're working into that passive range. And then the next thing we're going to do is strengthen that range. But before we can strengthen it, we need to develop the actual range of motion itself. Develop the range first, and then strengthen the range with the next exercise that we're going to do.
So backswing, again, remember, range, we're talking about watch how this moves. I've done a video on this, actually like technique-wise. I like to feel this elbow fold and really feel like we get into this position. Now, if you've not got the range, we start to get this, and as I just said, that will then start to impinge on cup wrist, open club face, and then this arm starting to collapse, which is our power, our radius of arc, and our strike. Okay, Sam, I want you to talk me through these, because I've got a good range, but could be improved, but I know my shoulders are a weak part of, I'd say, my golf swing in general, because I'm an absolute bugger for getting this a little bit up. Yeah. So, first exercise, talk me through this. How are we going to strengthen it?
So we're going to grab the band. Dead easy to do. If you've got a band at home, great. If not, they're not very expensive.
You pick up on Amazon, can't you? They're just
a couple of quid.
They're nothing, are they, really?
Sure. I would get one that's very, very thin, because the rotator cuff muscle isn't massively strong compared to, say, the legs or the chest or something like that. So you need something that's quite thin, that's not going to provide too much resistance. And because we're going to wrap it around the foot, the band's already going to be under quite a bit of tension.
Okay.
So I'm on my back. The band is wrapped around my foot. I'm going to get my elbow up towards my head. So we don't want to start down here. This is doing nothing.
So it's sort of your elbow there. I'm sort of imagining it's level with sort of your shoulders, isn't it?
Yeah, that's probably a good place to stick the elbow. Good cue. Elbows jammed into the ground, and then I'm going to externally rotate and work on that end range strength. And we're going to do 2 to 3 sets of 10 on each arm if we can.
What's the end goal? Because I know you're getting down almost to the ground there, but a lot of people when they first do this will be like, oh, right, okay, well, I guess it's built up running 5K, isn't it? Like you can't, sometimes when you first start running, run 5K. So even if they're getting halfway, is that still going to benefit them?
For sure, yeah, and just over time working, getting further and further and further and further. If you can't get all the way to the ground, it doesn't matter. You're not going to injure yourself doing this exercise. Over time, get closer to the floor. And if you've got the opposite problem, you think that's quite easy, you could elevate the elbow and then work into even more external range. So that's quite tough right there. So I could put a pillow under here or a yoga block, something like that, and develop even more external rotation.
Now, I'm just thinking, if they can't buy a band, and you want to do this right away and follow us, let me have a go at this. You probably do it with a tin of beans, right? I know it sounds really trivial.
You could do, but you probably use that on the next one better.
Okay.
Yeah, because gravity will do the work for you. If you do it prone, supine where you're facing up, the next stretch is where you're going to be prone face down, and then you could use the tin of beans. So I'll show you that one after Alex has had a go with the band.
Right. God, blimey.
Let's give it a try. If you do 10, if you do 10, nice and slow, hopefully the back of your shoulder should be burning. We're hitting those rotator muscles.
So this is very much going to help for a right-hander backswing. So checkpoint, Sam, you said to me, get that there.
Yeah, so elbow is in line with the shoulder. Obviously, you can't quite see it when you're like that. So just think elbow high. If you do it down here, there's no point doing it. So yeah, it's probably better to get it in line with the shoulder or even slightly beyond. That's it. Perfect, Alex. Spot on, matey. And then you want 90 degrees at this elbow as well, just before we go. So about there. And then we're going to get these knuckles down towards the floor.
Is this switched on before I even start?
There we go. Is that genuinely as far as you can go? Yeah. Nice. Okay, to the floor. It looked like you were going to struggle then.
I was just going slow, to be fair.
Nice. That's it. Perfect.
And should I be trying to keep my chest on the ground? Because I'm feeling it sort of wants to sort of rise up a little bit to help me like a little bit.
If you can, try and keep your back completely flush with the floor.
Okay.
Yeah, so you don't want to cheat and manipulate the body position elsewhere to get the sensation of getting your knuckles to the floor when you're not actually doing it through the shoulder. You're doing it through elsewhere.
I could just feel like if you were struggling with this, that I could feel that was something that was wanting to pop up a little bit.
Yeah, so try and maintain a little bit more of a hollow position. So you're going to tuck the ribs down, the back is going to be flush with the floor. Okay. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that feels different now. Yeah, this is screaming.
Good. 2 or 3 sets of 10 on each shoulder. And again, if you can't get these knuckles towards the floor, then over time, develop the ability to do so. Combined with that stretch, develop the range and then strengthen the range.
Right, well, I'll get up here. Sam's going to talk you through the next exercise.
Awesome. So if you've not got a band, or if you want a slight variation of this, you want to work on that very, very end range of motion, you're going to lay it on your front.
I'm having a go at this one, by the way.
And then you're going to have your elbows in exactly the same position.
Okay.
And you're going to rotate off the floor. Now, because it is the end range of motion, obviously I'm not going to go very far with it. Looks like a nothing exercise, but the back of my shoulders are burning. Where are you feeling this?
So when they're doing this right now, like, what should they be feeling?
Round the back of the shoulder. So you're working your rotator cuff muscles. You've got 4 rotator cuff
muscles. So like,
muscles.
if I'm putting on you on this side here, like here or here or here?
Further back.
Like here?
Yeah, exactly around there. So we're trying to work back of the shoulder. We're trying to get those hands as far off the floor as we can. And you might find you've got a little bit of an asymmetry between them.
And you said you could use tin of beans then, right?
Could use a tin of beans for this, yeah, exactly. I mean, even just body weight is quite tough, to be fair.
Okay.
But tin of beans would make it harder, so that's a good progression.
Nice.
Do you want to give it a try?
Oh, God, okay. To be fair, it's only going to help me, so let's get down here. Is that right?
Yeah, elbows slightly higher, 90 degrees again, and then let's get those knuckles as high as we can. That's it, whilst keeping the elbows trapped on the floor. That's the most important thing. There you go, matey. Perfect.
I mean, that looked so trivial when you were doing it.
Yeah, it's a nothing exercise. It's just an inch or two. That's it. You're trying to feel it around the back of the shoulder.
Yep, I feel it, Sam.
Cool.
And how many reps should we do in this?
Same again, 2 to 3 sets of 10. A couple of times a week will strengthen the back of the shoulders.
And would you say this is a good thing to do before a round?
Potentially, as long as you don't interfere with your swing itself. If you really, really fatigue your shoulders, you might find this position's a little bit uncomfortable.
Okay.
So I'd probably try and do it separately than golf. I would do the stretch, definitely, because that's not going to interfere with the swing.
So the first thing we said?
Yeah. The stretch with the club. I would do that, before you tee off if you do struggle with external. But the actual exercise, I'd probably do separately from that.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks so much for watching. We can't wait to have Sam back on the channel very, very soon. And hopefully these are starting to really help you improve your golf game. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Alex.